All right, you guys, podcast time. We got the equipment and the perfect business plan. Give our show away for free and tell no one how to find it. Ready?
Welcome to episode 75 of the Brand X podcast. I am one of your hosts, John. With me, my co-host, Deuce.
Como esta, bitches?
So, I wanted to try something different with the video.
You wanted to try making me uncomfortable.
I don't want to be uncomfortable. I really don't.
You don't want to be uncomfortable.
Well, see, again, I was looking at the video. This all started with me looking at the video and deciding what to do with the video from Facebook. Should I take it and put it on YouTube, our YouTube channel? And the thing about it, the camera was so far away that you couldn't really see us.
Great.
I understand. I get it. Look, the reason I love podcasting is I don't like doing video. I was hoping by now that Facebook would come out with audio only. They have audio only for iOS, which is iPads and iPhones, but they don't have it for the Mac software. Mm-hmm. So you can't do that here. Okay, so then I saw a video on how to do this, where you put two cameras, and then you see we have a lower third. There's what they call a lower. You can't see any of this because you don't.
I'm looking at you.
You're looking at me. You're just looking.
Yeah, before you had me over there, and I'm looking at your.
I understand.
Yeah, this is great.
I get it.
It's an Apple billboard. That's what I was looking at.
Well, I understand. Yeah, because I can see you.
Yeah.
I can see you. I can see you better now on the video here than I could see you when I was looking across because the lighting was always in my eyes. So I couldn't really tell. Okay.
Like a
that being said, right. That being said, here we are. And I don't know if this is better or not because, look, I'm not a fan of close-up video. I mean, look at this face.
Now I got to get all gussied up.
I put a hat on. That's what I did. All right. So anyhow.
That is gussied up for you.
That is gussied up for me. Okay.
The only time I see you with a hat on is when we podcast.
That is true. Yeah. I don't know why that is.
You don't wear hats.
No, I don't. So anyhow. So we're trying a new Facebook thing and we'll see how it works. Or again, I can do this thing here where I can we have an opening image. I could put another image in there. We could just do this, and then the image is up. You can't see it.
Put the technical difficulty symbol on, like the Simpsons.
Yes, exactly.
Where they showed a drunk cameraman.
Yeah, right. Now I have the opening, I guess, billboard or whatever. It says, we will be live at 7:30 Eastern. We're getting ready to get ready. Mm-hmm. And I'll turn that off now. Anyhow, so there's a bunch of different ways. And also, now I found out that, guess what? When I think, I look up and to the right, just like Doug from Who's Right, who I think he's pissed off at me. We'll get into that little drama in just a second.
Drama?
Well, it's always got to be drama. For some reason, there's always some kind of drama over Twitter. So I
am so out of the loop this week.
I know. You're busy. You're not doing anything.
So freaking busy.
Right. And now, for me, my back is 25% better. It's not, before it was like 10% better. So now I'm at 25%. So what am I doing? I'm looking at Twitter and I'm looking at Facebook and whatever. I don't have to tell you that Doug from Who's Right is very active on Twitter. He promotes his show. He does a great job. He's had a lot of different images and stuff like that. And he also reaches out to different people. Mm-hmm. Well, somehow he poked the Robin Slim Bear with a stick.
Not the guys you want to poke with a stick.
No. So what happened was...
Is there any pictures of him and Anthony with dick noses?
Not yet. Not yet.
Because we all know how that movie tends to end.
Right. Although, I have to tell you, there's not that many pictures of Doug or Anthony on the internet. Mm-hmm. Like, if you Google Techno Bully, my face is all over it,
And you love it.
Honestly, I don't, because we haven't played that in a while.
It came up in conversation.
Right. We haven't played, so, I'm not I liked podcasting because it was audio. Mm-hmm. I don't like video.
Right.
that being said,
Here we are
here we are.
on video.
Right. And I don't know if people would listen to this without seeing us. I don't know that.
But it was always a curiosity.
Right. I wonder what he looks like. Holy shit.
Boy, was I wrong.
Wow. He doesn't look like
Well,
any.
we found that out at the radio station
That's
back
true.
in the day at DBK.
That is true.
Yeah.
Back in the day at DBK.
Right.
I remember I took one phone call when I had taken Tuesday nights, and that format was top 40.
Right.
So we got a lot of call-in. No one called in to the oldies show per se. But at the night shows, when you did top 40, like you did Monday nights, I did Tuesdays.
Right.
Then you got the phone calls. And then like the girls would call up and, oh, you sound so cute. And like, this voice? You know,
Really?
I'm pretty self-aware of, what I sound like. But I says, oh, no, that never works out. And it says, well, you have a preconceived idea of what I look like. Oh, I know exactly what you look like. And I'm like, really? How do you know that? And all right. Well, you're about 6'2" and you have blonde hair. Wrong.
Yeah.
So
That's what you think I look
yeah,
like.
right. No, sorry.
Or even when we used to go to the comedy back in the day, when comedy in the 80s, stand-up was blowing up, we used to go to the Comedy Factory Outlet in Philadelphia, and they would have DJs there opening, John DeBell, and you think you knew what he looked like. And then this little scrawny guy came out with this big giant handlebar mustache, snaggle teeth.
He's pretty tall, actually.
Dude, John DeBella?
He's tall. I got a picture with him and two at that. Oh, so I was at that truck pud pull, and I was on Pierre's team versus John DeBella's team, and I got to dig those pictures up, and I got my pictures taken with them. And John DeBella's pretty tall.
I didn't think he was.
No, he's taller than you think he is.
Right. So here we are doing video, and I'm not a fan. And then the other thing is, now that I'm watching the chat room, because Joe has left, so I have two different streams going on my computer screen. I have the stream that we're doing right now that I can see, which is live. And then I have the stream that I can see where the...
who's in the chat?
Yeah, who's in the chat, and that's 10 seconds behind.
Right.
So then if I make a jerky move or do something here, then like 10 seconds later, the other one does something and it draws my attention. So this could be a dumpster fire very easily, but we're going to try it. We'll see what happens. If you don't stretch your wings, if you don't try new things, you get stuck in a rut, right?
Okay, John, let's go with that.
Right. So let's get back to the Twitter war that started.
You're a horrible salesman. You can't sell shit.
I don't know why you say that.
Go ahead. The Twitter war.
Apparently, Rob and Slim did one of those #FF, which means follow Friday. And he puts like all the people in there. And now that you have 280 characters, you can make
you go to town.
shitload. You can go to town. Yeah. He does like 3 different tweets. He names just about every podcast. Okay. And he does not name who's right. So then Doug I think he was trying to make a joke. I don't think he was mad. He said something about, he shouted out the whole world and we didn't get a shout out. Well, I guess Rob thought he was throwing shade, and then Rob came back. Doug thinks Rob's joking around. Doug comes back. Kind of like when I mess around with Doug.
See, Doug and Anthony had that acerbic humor.
That what humor?
Acerbic.
Which is?
It's very cutting.
Yes.
To say the least. And if you don't listen to the show regularly, and then you read the tweets, if you listen to the show regularly and then you read the tweets, you get that.
Right.
If you are not familiar with the podcast and you read that, who the fuck, So I can see where this could have went astray.
So it's starting to go south, okay, between the two of them. Now, remember the time when I got in an argument, I guess it was with Dr. Kuntner, and he came over, and there was this one guy that was giving me a bunch, and the next thing you know, Doug's making friends with him, and Doug says, I can't help it if the guy's making good points, and you don't have any kind of retort. I can't help that. What do you want from me?
Yeah.
So now he's in a thing with...
You left him like Michael Corleone's going to walk out of the bathroom store with his dick in his hands.
Right.
What's he going to do?
What's he going to do? So now these two are kind of like, things are starting to wind up. And you know how I feel about Rob and Slim. I'm not going to get on their bad side because I don't want a picture.
Don't want a dick nose.
I don't want a dick nose.
In a Nazi uniform.
I don't want to be in a Nazi uniform with a dick nose or have my face on a butt plug. I don't want that at all. Because I don't have any Photoshop skills to fix that. I can't do battle with them. And again, this is a week ago. because everything in podcasting seems to be like it happens on Monday and then you got to wait till Friday or whenever to do that, to talk about it.
And a lot of times I'm a Twitter lurker.
Right.
But this week I've been so jammed up. I haven't barely had time to do anything.
Now, I'm going to tell you right now, Doug gave us a lot of graphics. He didn't have to do that. He did some great work for us. We really appreciate all that stuff. So anyhow, I kind of took Rob's side because he did the same.
So what, you decided to do tit for tat?
Yes, I did.
So it was a spite thing.
Kind of, sort of.
And how old are you? 56.
and I'm not getting on the bad side of Rob. I'm not doing that because, like I'm telling you, they curb stop.
Never once did it like kind of come into your head like maybe I'll just sit this one out and like watch it play out.
You can do that?
Yeah.
No,
I do it all the time.
Oh, you never go on. I have to tell you everything the next week.
Well, I might be aware of it.
Here's what happened on Twitter.
Yeah. Well, in this instance, you have to tell me, but I'm aware.
So then I get a message from Doug. Thanks for having my back.
Jerk off.
Yeah, thanks, jerk off. And I said, well, the guy was making good points. I can't help it if you can't defend yourself. And I haven't heard from him. So I don't know if he's pissed off or what. Because Doug,
he might be busy.
He might be busy. You're right. He might be busy.
He is a man of power and influence.
Yeah, that's true. So we'll see what happens. But I don't know what. And everything seemed to calm down. There was no heads on, butt plugs, and there wasn't any kind of real Photoshop stuff going on. So I started an online course on Photoshop and Illustrator just so I could try to maybe catch up. You know what I mean? Because, this is what I feel like. I feel like Doug and David, the producer, like David, the producer's like the United States and Doug's like China and other guys from Russia.
Why does Doug have to be the communist?
Just because I like David, the producer, more. No, so because I'm still poking the bear.
I just don't understand your analogy.
Well, I'm trying to get to the super. So there's superpowers when it comes to Photoshop, so they can do really good things. I'm North Korea. All right, I have no real skills.
I'm some podunk rocket.
Yeah, I'm trying to shoot this. Right, exactly. I'm trying to shoot a rocket into the ocean. So I know I'm outmatched. So why would I even get into a war like that? Here's another thing. I'm sitting there and, I go to Twitter like I do just to see how we're doing. Next thing I know, Dave, the producer, has someone holding up a Brand X t-shirt and it's on fire. And he says, oh, I guess we didn't get shouted out. I don't ever remember not shouting them out at the end of the show. When, he's like, I guess we're not going to be watching you anymore because we didn't shout them out. I've never dropped them off the shout out list. But now,
did we miss them?
I don't, I listened to the show and I don't think we did. I don't think we did. But anyhow.
I'm not sure. Yeah, you might want to find out what that's all about.
Don't you worry. I'm going to fix that.
I'm sure whatever it is, it's John's fault because he makes the shout out.
Because for you to do something wrong would mean you would have to do something.
Right.
Exactly. So now I look and there's my shirt on fire. I'm like, holy shit. Now what? Now what did I do? So
it wasn't in Israel or
no, I fell on the sword. What did I do? If we did, I'm sorry, reach around, little lube, tickle the balls, trying to get out of trouble.
Just saying I'm sorry doesn't work.
Apparently not. Not in this group.
You go all the way.
No, not in this group. If you're...
What was it, the shirt that Juliet was wearing?
Well, it was a Brand X shirt. It wasn't Juliet on fire wearing her T-shirt.
I mean, well, because she had the black T-shirt.
It was a black T-shirt, and I was on fire. I'm like, holy shit! Now what? So hopefully that kind of calmed down.
Maybe that was just photoshopped.
It was Photoshop. No, he actually he got some guy dipped this thing in gasoline. Now set it on fire. Hold on, I'll get the picture.
That look on your faces. That's why I need to look at you because when I dropped his non sequiturs on you,
hell with the he actually set a shirt on fire.
You don't know how much fun you are sometimes.
Right, exactly.
I got a question for you.
Go ahead.
It was asked by the guy that placed the fictitious Craigslist ad.
Yes.
And he wants to know, when you locked yourself out of your house.
Yes.
And you had to go potty.
Yes.
Under your deck. Is it still out there? Or did you clean it up?
I will neither confirm or deny those rumors.
He was like, well, what did he do? Did he just, I don't know. I'm going to guess he cleaned it.
You'd have guessed wrong. It's still there.
Okay. It's going to be a petrified log
That's
soon.
when I'll go get it. I'll just go over there and flip it onto a shovel and put it in the trash can. Just like I do with the dog turds that I used to go in the backyard and clean up.
Yeah, that was a burning question.
Did he clean it up?
Yeah, he said, "Now I got to ask you. Well, I don't know, but I'll find out.
Right.
I'll ask him on the next podcast."
Yes. So
You're going to have an Ask John segment. So,
there we go.
when you took a shit under your deck, did you clean it?
So when you locked yourself out of the truck and you had to shit, did you clean that up afterwards? Did you go out and clean that up? I wish I said I did. I was going to send the kids out there to do it.
Oh,
Boy, some
wow.
big dog shit under the deck. Can you go down there and clean it up? It's really stinking up here.
Hey, you really go for that Dad of the Year trophy.
Yep.
Dad, is it your kids in therapy? And my father made me clean up his shit.
Well, they wouldn't know. They would think it's dog shit. They would go down there and clean up dog shit. They clean up dog shit all the time. What's the difference between dog shit and human shit? Just saying. All right. So all right. So since we're on the subject of shit,
Twitter. Oh,
no, we've moved on from Twitter now.
we move along.
We're now going to shit stories.
Okay.
So the Jimmy.
It's the Jimmy. Oh, Jimmy, what do you do? What do you do? What do you do?
What's up with the Jimmy? He's been undercover for a long time.
Well, let me just say, the Jimmy Show. If I could ever figure out how to produce the Jimmy Show, that would be hysterical.
Mm-hmm.
The Jimmy Show would be me recording our phone conversations and just, putting them up as a podcast. And then it would actually have to be some kind of video too, because there's also messages, like text messages goes on.
Okay, it's like screenshots.
Right. So Jimmy's trying to call me. I couldn't answer the phone. I was doing something. I
You're
couldn't
taking a shit under your deck.
I was taking a shit under my deck. So I didn't answer the phone. So then I get a text from him, and he goes, "Oh, poo haiku." Right. So I'm like, "Oh, great." So he must have shit himself or whatever. I don't know. So I go about my day.
You're guessing.
Right. So then later on, he calls me. I pick up the phone. I said, "Okay, so you shit yourself. Tell me the story." So what happened was, now, Jimmy's older than me by 2 years. He's 59 years old.
I'm sure he would deny that.
Let that sink in.
Okay.
He's 59 years old. Okay. Now, him and his brother have this thing when they shit. And then Michael, he's 57 or 58. I think he's 58. So they have this thing when they shit, if they like make a bowl winder, where it is in a funny shape or whatever, or it's a big giant log.
Picture of it.
They take a picture. You know how some people take a picture of their food and send it to their friends? Yeah. Oh, look, this is what I ate. These guys take a picture of their poo and send it to each other. Mm-hmm. And then one time, I told you the story that Jimmy had diarrhea, and the whole bowl was all,
he sprayed the whole side?
Sprayed the whole bowl and everything, and he took a picture, and he thought he was sending it to Mike, but he sent it to a customer. Imagine the customer saying, "Oh, what's this?" Oh! So apparently the Jimmy had to go to the bathroom.
Urgently.
Well, I don't know if it was urgent or not, but what he tried to do was he decided he tried to stage a scene. Okay, instead of taking a shit and maybe making an S or going around the bowl, he kind of hovered and tried to place his shit some way in the bowl. I don't know what he was trying to do, make an H or a middle finger. I have no idea. So in the middle of this,
so the way some men work in clays and oils, Jimmy works with shit.
And shit.
That's his true medium.
That's his medium. So apparently, sometimes you go to push out when you got a solid one, and then there's a break in the solid, and there's it's more liquefied.
You guys really spend a lot of time.
Listen, I
just drop, wipe, and go, man.
That's me too. Me too. Okay, you don't. I've never taken a picture of my poo.
You just described, how sometimes it comes out really.
Well, you've never sat down there and had one come out, and all of a sudden it breaks off, and the next thing you know, you can. You know what I'm talking about.
No, not at all.
Oh, stop it. Well, it happened to me. So, well, with that, he's above the bowl. He's above the rim. Okay?
He's hovering.
He's above the rim. Well, when that thing went, it shot shit all over the side, and then he realized what happened, and he goes to sit down. So now it's all over the seat, over the back of the toilet, all over the back of him. So then he's got to get up. He's got to get in the shower. Then he gets out, and he's got to clean all that mess up and everything. These are the phone calls I get.
That is, something should be a secret.
Exactly.
Like if I almost shit myself or be shit at the toilet and got it all over myself, I wouldn't tell anybody.
Well, I was going to tell the story about when I got locked out of the truck. I was not going to tell the story about shitting under the deck.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought to myself, it really did add a little flavor to the story.
Mm-hmm.
Because, coming out the other side. It just, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not an everyday occurrence. And I didn't stage it.
Yeah.
Okay? And I'm not trying to work with it.
No, it was just an emergency. And
it was an emergency.
You're locked out.
I'm locked
you
out.
Won't do that again, will you?
So far, so good. I did it 2 days in a row, and I haven't done it since.
Well, the burned hand teaches best.
Right. That's the story I get from the Jimmy. All right. I guess we're done with the shit stories.
Yeah, it was a real shit show.
I got to stop bouncing my leg.
They're always a lot more fun when they happen to somebody else.
That is true.
Like the people I work with, there's a lot of shit. So I told a story about that one guy that shit so bad he made himself throw up.
Yeah, I've never done that.
Yeah, that's.
You talk about doing things that I've never done.
That's a nasty shit.
That is a nasty shit.
When,
I do believe that is a nasty shit. Hey, listen, since
sometimes you get those life-threatening shits, like the kind that killed Elvis.
Right. Well, I'll be honest with you. The time I went under the deck, that felt like it was a life.
That was a life-threatening shit.
Yeah, I think it was. Man sues Philadelphia Eagle Fletcher Cox. Cox.
He said Cox.
For seducing his wife.
Superfan Dave is like,
what?
That's his, he's like, he said Cox.
Oh, okay, I got you. Philadelphia Eagles defensive tackle Fletcher Cox is known for penetrating backfields and planting quarterbacks in the grass, but a new lawsuit has accused Cox of stealing a North Carolina man's wife, suggests offensive lines aren't the only thing he likes penetrating. Filed by a 34-year-old Joshua Jeffords, the suit says Cox, who is in his 6th season with the Philadelphia Eagles, had an adulterous affair with Gerald's 29-year-old wife, Catherine. Jeffords? You
said Gerald's.
Jeffords.
Mm-hmm.
The dude's wife.
Right.
Fletcher Cox is banging the dude's wife.
Looks like a stripper.
She's pretty hot.
Yeah, but she looks like a stripper.
She does look like a stripper.
I mean, that's a Christmas tree. Look at the picture on the right.
Yes.
Have you ever seen anybody other than a stripper dressed like that for Christmas?
No.
Because they're standing in front of the Christmas tree.
Right.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say he might have married a hoa.
Right. Well, she was interviewed and, this is what she had to say.
Who doesn't want a chocolate dick?
Exactly. The suit says that Cox and Catherine began their affair when she took a business trip to Philadelphia after returning home to North Carolina. She continued the affair with Cox.
What line of work is she into?
I don't know. Maybe she was down here on a pole somewhere. I don't know.
Business trip.
Business trip. Doesn't really say. Cox through text messages and Snapchat. In some of those messages, which are included in the lawsuit, Jeffords called Cox boo and wrote that they were sexually compatible. Right?
Who doesn't want a chocolate dick?
To that, Cox replied he wants to get her pregnant. I want you to be my baby mama. And they have
what is that? What are you guys?
What?
I'm like, look, where are you reading that at? I'm like,
no, that's an ad-lib. I'm ad-libbing.
I see.
Dilly. That was an ad-lib. So here's some of the texts. You were just saying you weren't ready to settle down. We were at the hotel. I'm not going to be I'm not going to be a single.
You really butchered that up. I'll tell you what.
Okay, why don't you do it?
I'll be the hoa.
All right.
And you respond.
And I'll be Fletcher Cox.
You be Fletcher Cox.
All right, there we go.
You were just saying you weren't ready to settle down when we were at the hotel. I'm not going to be a single mom. Laugh out loud.
You ain't going to be no damn single mom.
I'm just telling you how I feel, boo.
Listen to me.
I'm listening.
Cut me.
Does he really talk that way?
He does here. The fuck?
And loving everything you have to say.
Exactly.
That's you.
I'm getting there. Get to know me on the other levels. Are you scared or some?
Hell no.
Well, let's do.
But I feel like I barely know you. I want to know it all. Your family, your friends, your past, everything. I really like you.
Cut me. That gonna happen.
Okay, I'll trust you.
Well, let's have a baby.
And that's cut off. Then it says,
Jets, but I won't play.
Then there's no reason for me to watch.
Bye. Not at baby.
I bartend tomorrow night. Oh, so she's a bartender.
I want to get you pregnant.
Best response ever. We'd make some damn beautiful babies.
I'm dead ass serious.
Like I said last night, I want to get to know you, babe. I know we are compatible sexually, but I want to know we are on other levels as well.
Who doesn't want a chocolate dick?
So she says she's bartending. What kind of business trip do bartenders
That
go
would
on?
hurt like fuck.
What's that?
She said, it says here she was bartending, but in the story it says she was like on a business trip.
Yeah,
So she must be a stripper.
that's what I'm thinking. Jeffwood says his wife refused to stop the affair and eventually moved to Philadelphia. Oops, I'm sorry. He was forced to seek mental help. Come on, dude, suck it up. He's a handsome-looking guy.
Well,
He could get another broad.
well,
He's a good-looking guy, right?
He's going for the theft of affections.
Oh, please.
That somebody won that a few years ago.
Listen, do you really want her back after Fletcher Cox tunneled her out?
No, but I would like Fletcher Cox's millions.
If he's getting $50,000. It's not even enough to buy a car.
I'll take it.
Listen.
If
I would
it's a
rather.
law.
Okay, first of all, this guy now has two dumbasses reading all about this on their podcast.
Mhm.
Okay, is that really worth all the ridicule this guy's getting? Is that really worth the $50,000? I mean, do you think Fletcher Cox gives a flying fuck? Like Fletcher Cox is like, that's right, I'm banging the dog shit out of her.
Yeah, but I wonder what the law is. Yeah, theft of effect. Somebody won a sizable lawsuit. I forget.
In
who
North
it was.
Carolina, married people can sue for alienation of affection.
Right.
Which is what Jeff Wards is doing here. Still, it's pretty
a slam dunk.
Yeah. Sure, he's hoping to get
Why does it look bad
$50,000
on
out of
Jeffords? He's the victim here.
Again,
He's the victim. What do you
You
know
mind
what this
the
reminds
guy
me of?
just walked off with his wife.
You know what this reminds me of? Yeah,
Yeah.
right. He's the victim.
He's not okay. Is he really a victim?
Yes.
The fucking gold digging whore just took off with a defensive tackle from the Philadelphia Eagles.
Right. He's the
He
victim.
did her a favor.
Right, but
Cox did her a favor. He's not the victim.
And as Holmes said to Watson, nevertheless, he's still the victim.
Please.
Yeah, it's like in the Titanic movie.
Hmm?
You saw the Titanic movie.
Oh my God, it was the worst 3 hours of my life. Go ahead.
Well, when the
Couldn't wait for that motherfucker to drown so it would
when
end the movie.
When the ship went down and everything,
Yes.
and like Rose's fiance, you see him at the end looking amongst the survivors. So we were like walking out. I was like, well, I'm glad he survived. That was good. And like all these women, as we were like walking out, they wanted to like go, oh, and like, so they're like, oh, how could you say that? I says, he was terrible. What do you mean he was terrible? She's banging Jack in the car. She's plow fucking him everywhere. He didn't do anything wrong.
He's the victim.
He's the victim here. Why are you rooting for Jack?
Right.
Like,
Thank God that adulterer drowned.
yeah. So I mean, hey, you gotta have a little bit of perspective here.
Right. So what the article says is now he has to consider the downside of this lawsuit. Now the world knows that a rich, fat man, 8 years his younger, stole his wife. That's not exactly something you want to publicize.
No, I wouldn't care.
You'd rather just have the 50,000?
He must have known something was going on. He might get more than 50,000.
That's what they said. He says he's hoping to get 50,000.
Yeah, well, he might get it.
Okay.
He probably will get it. It's
Yeah,
all in the
let's-
books.
I
He's
think-
got. I don't know how he got the Instagram and the Snapchat dialogues. He must have.
He must have got her phone.
Yeah, he must have known.
Sure.
He found out.
Right.
He found out.
Maybe she screenshotted him. Yeah. You think that's bad? This is what I'm doing over here.
Yeah, it's just like, well, it could be like he knew that she was a trollop and might have.
Well, like you said, she looks like a
hoa.
She looks like a hoa.
Yeah, I mean, who dresses like that at Christmas besides a hoa? That's a hell of a Christmas photo. At first, I thought they were like at a wedding. I was like, that's a Christmas tree behind there.
So that
Where are they going?
that dress is okay at a wedding, but
Oh,
not
no.
okay at a Christmas party?
No, it's not. Well, at first, when it was real small, then I clicked on it because you see the lights in the background. Then I clicked on it. Wait a minute, that's a Christmas picture. Yeah, it was like kind of slutty.
Well, Fletcher, I don't give a shit if you bang this girl every 6 ways from Sunday as long as we get a Super Bowl this year. That's all I care about.
Mm-hmm. This could be bad juju.
Go Eagles. Well, the story broke and they lost the game.
Yeah, see?
Not happy about that. And now they're in Los Angeles and there's wildfires.
Mm-hmm.
You might have to give up the white woman.
So they have to hope that the fires don't like burn the stadium down.
Well, just think about all the smoke.
Mm-hmm. They might cancel the game.
I don't know.
You don't know.
I don't think so.
Yeah, or they might relocate. Well,
I don't know.
Sunday's a couple of days. When we were in San Francisco, we could still smell smoke in the air from Napa.
Really?
Yeah.
Man, I'll tell you what. Some of those pictures are unbelievable. Where the people are driving down the road and it's just like the whole mountain's on fire and they're driving towards it.
End of the world looking.
Yeah, exactly. Let's talk about this one idiot. What do we call this when someone's trying to cleanse the gene pool?
Trying to cleanse itself?
Firefighters have expressed their anger at having to spend an hour rescuing a YouTube prankster who got his friends to cement his head inside a microwave oven. All right, who comes up with this and how much were they drinking?
And what were they drinking?
Apparently, they're over in they're across the pond. A 22-year-old believed to be Jimmy Swingler.
Believes. They're not sure.
One half of the TGF bro and a group of friends mixed 7 bags of cement before they poured it around his head, which was protected by a plastic bag inside an appliance. How did this motherfucker not die? He's got his head in a microwave with a plastic bag over it, and they're pouring concrete all around it. Their intentions were to use the microwave as a mold, and by the time emergency services were on the premises, the group had already tried to free him for an hour and a half. Of course, they filmed the incident for their YouTube channel, and before the stunt began, Swingler acknowledged that it was extremely dangerous and he might die. The friends had managed to they fed an air tube into the man's head to help him breathe.
Into the man's head?
Yeah. They drilled a hole.
Directly into his head.
Right.
Bypassed his lungs. Well.
Yeah, they gave him a trach. The fire service's official account tweeted, what the fuck? It's not their official report. It's the fire service's official tweet. We're seriously unimpressed. Angry emoji.
Look at these pictures.
His friends have already been trying to free him for an hour and a half before help arrived. Emergency services were called when this YouTube prank goes wrong. An air tube had to be inserted into the microwave to help him breathe. 5 of our fighters were tied up for an hour this afternoon, freeing a YouTube prankster whose head had been cemented inside a microwave oven. Watch commander in charge of the West Midlands Fire Service crew also responded, said, as funny as this sounds, the young man could have quite easily had suffocated or had been seriously injured. He added, taking the microwave apart was tricky because a lot of it was welded. We video called our technical rescue colleagues for advice and eventually managed to get him unstuck. Firefighters and ambulance crews had to help him get out of the microwave. Firefighters had spent an hour freeing this idiot after he had got his head stuck in a microwave full of cement. There we go. Again.
What were they trying to do? Like make a bust of himself?
I don't know. Make a blockhead out of him? Why a microwave? Why not just a cardboard box?
Well, they said they're using, probably because that stuff is heavy.
You know how you would have got his head out of there? You should just turn the microwave on. Hold it. We got it. Turn the microwave on.
We got this.
Yeah.
Luckily. They could have taken a grinder to it if they had one.
Imagine showing up, right? 911, you get a call, you pull up, and all of a sudden you see this jackass here with his head stuck in the microwave.
You know what? The people with the best stories are cops and people that work in emergency rooms.
That's true.
Like some of the stories I've heard cops and people that work in emergency rooms tell, it's phenomenal that not more people die.
You're absolutely right. This was a story held over from last week. We didn't get to it.
Yeah.
And we were talking earlier about my my condition that I had where I had to go underneath the deck.
Right.
And relieve myself.
Amazon delivery woman defecates on customer's front yard while dropping off packages. When Nemi Batista arrived to his Sacramento home on Tuesday, he found what appeared to be dog poop at the bottom of his driveway. When he looked at the footage in his security camera, however, he found a dissatisfying surprise. Batista told Fox News on Friday that instead of a puppy relieving itself, he watched a woman who was delivering a package for Amazon driving a U-Haul doing the deed. He said he was shocked by what he saw and immediately contacted Amazon and filed a complaint. I wanted Amazon to come clean it up, Batista said, adding he missed the delivery by minutes. The homeowner said the representative for Amazon were shocked and thoroughly apologized and told them they had contracted a third-party company to do those deliveries. A supervisor for the driver arrived at Batista's home about five hours later, unprepared to deal with the package. He didn't have any gloves, nothing. He grabbed a plastic bag to scoop it up, and I told him he could have put it in my trash can. I didn't want it stinking up my can. The man asked Batista if he could leave it outside the trash can, which he did. Batista eventually put it in the trash can after the man left. So what was the point of that? He wound up putting it in his trash can anyway, but he wouldn't let Amazon do it. So,
right.
Amazon has apologized and offered him a gift card. He told them the company driver has been dealt with, but was unsure what that meant. This is a third-party provider. Anyone can be a driver, he told Fox News. It's a lack of professionalism. It's very strange. But it seems as if the problem didn't end there. He said the next day another Amazon delivery person, instead of walking up to his front door to drop off the package, was caught on camera throwing it about 20 yards out.
Jesus.
I hope there wasn't anything breakable in there. To put salt on the wound, we had another driver the next day that tossed a package. He tossed instead of walking up the driveway, adding that it landed on top of a rose bed. It was a fragile porcelain figure, but it didn't break. Representative with Amazon was shocked. Seems like they're shocked a lot. Now here come the cops. And profusely apologized for the second incident. I have lived in this home 17 years. I've never had back-to-back incidents like this. And then if you watch the video, you're really not sure exactly what's going on until the conclusion when she scrambles to the other side of the truck and gets in and drives away. And you can see the little package that she left behind.
So let me ask you this question. You're in there. You're dropping packages off. You got to go to the bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
What do you do?
You go behind John's house under his deck.
Go under the deck. What I'm saying is there any way, like, sometimes, like you always say, sometimes you got to go to the bathroom.
Sometimes you got to shit.
Sometimes you got to shit
now. Well, she was in the back. She could have went in the back of the van and shit on a paper or something.
Mm-hmm.
That was just nasty. I mean, the van would have been a little bit more private. Because she's like in the wide open. You watched the video?
No, I didn't. There was video?
Oh, there's a video.
I missed the video.
Yeah, video footage of it.
I don't know if I want to see a woman shit.
Well, you see it from far away, but then you see what she leaves behind when she gets up. She's sitting, she's got the passenger door open.
Right.
And all you see are her feet.
Right.
So if you didn't know, if it wasn't from the store, you wouldn't know what was going on. You would think she might have been like rifling through papers or something or looking for a package.
Or toilet paper.
Yeah. Then all of a sudden she just stands up and she just closes the door, runs around to the other door, gets in and drives off.
There you go.
And leaves a big old turd there.
Now, did she wipe?
I don't know.
Is there any paper there?
I don't know.
She's walking. Now she got to do the rest of the route with creamy crack?
Ugh. Maybe she was done. Or maybe Batista pissed her off.
I know. I just feel bad for these guys that got to deliver, like these UPS guys. They really have no... I think those trucks should have a damn bathroom in them.
Right, they can stop anywhere they want. First of all, UPS drivers got that UPS carte blanche. Like you worked in Philadelphia. Yes. I'm just going to park anywhere. Fuck it.
Yeah, but still, there's no... Yeah, you say they can park wherever they want.
They do.
I understand that. But like in Center City, Philadelphia, there's really no place... There's
all right,
really no
and how come that dispensation doesn't go for Coca-Cola vendors or the Hearst potato chip guy or the Nat Sherman guy?
Okay, I would say for all of them.
Yeah, it's just like... But those guys get tickets. UPS and FedEx... They get that special dispensation. And sometimes they're away from those trucks for a while. You can't just lay that, well, it's only going to be as long as it takes to deliver a package. Yeah, well, they might be delivering a package on like the 25th floor of some building.
Right. Well, I almost got in a fist fight with a guy when I was in the elevator business.
Mm-hmm.
Because what the UPS guy would do is he would get the elevator and then he would take it up and he would take the card out and he would stick it in the doorway so the doors wouldn't close. And then the package, he would take like 2 or 3 packages.
Mm-hmm.
And then he would run over and get signed, and he would take the elevator. So instead of taking the car out of service,
right
now, the thing's if it's there so long, it actually goes out of service, and then he just grabs another elevator. So now I've got 2 elevators out of service because the doors have timed out,
right? Because
he's got the card in the door. Now he just got another one. He's on his 3rd car. He's going to put another one out of service. So finally, I get up to the floor and I see him, running off and leaving the thing in the package. So you know what I did?
Kicked the thing out from under the...
I just pushed it right back in, let the door shut, and off it went. He come back, where the fuck I go? I go, oh, was that your cart? Oh, it was in the doorway. The elevator couldn't leave. So I just pushed it in and let it go. Oh, well, where is it? I don't know. All I know was you shut down them 2 fucking elevators over there so you knew what you were doing. And you just moved on. How many elevators were you going to shut down? Oh, well, what happens if someone could take down packages? That's your problem. That's not my problem. My problem was the elevators were shut down. They ain't shut down anymore.
Yeah. Problem solved.
Problem solved.
Yeah. What did he say about that?
Oh, he was pissed. He was pissed.
Yeah, get over it.
But I didn't care.
Yeah.
I didn't care at all. Matter of fact, I thought it was quite funny. And then I kind of made a habit of it because they would do it at other places. Like I'd be walking by and all of a sudden the guy would walk out and he would leave the thing in the doorway. And as soon as he got out of sight, I'd push it in. I just walk away.
Away it goes.
Away it goes.
Yeah, that's right. Who did that? UPS or FedEx or?
The guy that was mad at me was UPS.
Okay. What can Brown do for you? He can take elevators out of service.
That's what he can do.
That's
yes.
what he can do.
Yes, that's what he can do. Are you a fan of the Bud Light commercial, Dilly Dilly?
I'm not a fan of Budweiser, period.
Okay.
It's swill, and I really hate that ad campaign. But there's a lot of, I have to tip my hat to them. They come out with a lot of ad campaigns that I found annoying, but they know, like that "What's up" shit. I hated that ad campaign.
Right.
I hated the frogs and the lizards.
But it's like an earworm. It gets stuck in your...
Yeah, I just, they're good at what they do. I don't know if they're that good or people are that just easily led. I don't know. It could just be my deep-rooted, seething hatred for the beer just taints any ad campaign that they do.
The reason I say that is because I'm trying to get to the story here. There was a brewery, like a microbrewery in Minneapolis, Minnesota.
Okay.
And apparently they have a IPA ale that they named Dilly Dilly.
Well, that's not going to fly.
No, it's not. So what happened was they decided, the people from Bud Light, when they found out about this, they decided to get a guy, dress him up like a squire. Is that what they would call that? Or a town crier?
Oh, okay.
All right.
Messenger.
And they did this, and they sent the guy, they flew him from New York to Minneapolis. He shows up in full dress from the time period.
So is he like one of his Renaissance fair actors or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Must have found one.
Yes. And he has a scroll, and this is what he said to the people of the Modest Brewing Company, Minneapolis, Minnesota. Here we go. You know what I can do?
Pause that a second.
Yes.
You know what that sounds like?
No.
It sounds like the priest that did the marriage and the Princess Bride.
Oh, yes.
Marriage.
We are here for...
Doesn't it sound like that guy?
Yes.
I wonder if it's him.
No, it's not him.
Oh, okay. That guy might be dead by now. He was pretty old.
He might be. All right, so I'm sharing my screen with the people with Facebook Live. So
okay.
Here we go.
Hear ye! Hear ye! Dear friend of the crown, Modest Brewing Company, congratulations on the launch of your new brew, Dilly Dilly Mosaic Double IPA. Let it be known that we believe that any beer that is shared between friends is a fine beer indeed, and we are duly flattered by your loyal tribute. However, Dilly Dilly is the motto of our realm, so we humbly ask that you keep this to a limited edition, one-time only run. This is by order of the king. Disobedience shall be met with additional scrolls. Then a formal warning, and finally, a private tour of the pit of misery. Please send a raven, letter, or electronic mail to let us know that you agree to this request. Also, we will be in your fair citadel of Minneapolis for the Super Bowl and would love to offer 2 thrones to said game for 2 of your finest employees to watch the festivities and enjoy a few Bud Lights on us.
Yeah.
Yours truthfully, Bud Light.
There you go. So I thought it was pretty cool.
Actually, it's pretty smart because they're going to get the attention.
Yes.
And not only that, that's kind of a reversal of things because they're being served with a cease and desist order, but they made out with Super Bowl tickets.
Oh, yeah.
So,
in other words, yeah, it was like, okay, you did dilly dilly. Well, here's the thing. Let's say they made a run of this dilly dilly beer.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Now they have to have a cease and desist order. They can't make it. This is a limited run.
Yeah, they said a one-time.
Doesn't that beer increase in value now?
Well,
you can't get it anymore?
Well, not really.
No?
Yeah, well, beer goes bad. Beer's not like wine.
Okay.
Well, even wine will turn into vinegar in time. But beer, it only has a shelf life. It never stops fermenting. That's the one thing people don't know about beer. And it doesn't, once you pull it out of the barrels and it goes in glass, sunlight affects it.
That's true.
And it gets skunky. That's why I drink it as quickly as possible. I'm going to stop making it tomorrow.
Yeah, that's true. God forbid they should stop
Right.
making it tomorrow. So anyhow, I thought that was pretty neat the way they did that.
They'll get the brewery will get a lot of attention too.
Sure.
Everyone wins. Bud wins.
Yeah.
The brewery wins.
It was a nice...
the owners will win. I mean, they're going to the Super Bowl now.
Yes.
I wonder what those tickets cost.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah. Even
ridiculous.
the shittiest seats on the planet in the Super Bowl are probably a few $1,000s, I would imagine.
Hopefully they'll be watching their Eagles win their first Super Bowl.
I didn't know it was in Minneapolis this year.
Yeah, it is. And Minnesota, the Minnesota Vikings, their team's doing real well. It could be...
Well, they're both 10-2. Well, it won't be the Eagles and them because they're both in the NFC.
Right, so one of them has to make it. So if Minnesota...
Neither one might make it on any given Sunday. Anybody
No, I
can
understand
win.
it. But if Minnesota makes it to the Super Bowl for the NFC, they'll be the first... I think it's the first time in Super Bowl history that the home team...
Played in their home stadium?
Play in their home stadium.
Are you sure that's ever happened before?
Well, I know Dallas was trying to make it the year that Dallas had the Super Bowl down there.
Tampon Bay have that happen to them?
I don't know that.
Buccaneers or maybe almost.
I don't know that. You know who would know that? Jason Bryan would know that because he's a big Buccaneers fan.
Under my bucking hat.
Under my bucking hat.
Right.
Speaking of our Philadelphia Phillies.
Eagles.
Did I say Phillies?
You said Phillies.
See, what happens?
What are they up to? Pitchers and catchers don't start till February.
Till February. That's what happens when my mind is starting to do something and my mouth is still moving and talking. Just any shit will come out of it. That's what happens.
I told you a story about the first stripper that I tried to rent to. Remember my condo in Cherry Hill?
Yes.
All right. Well, Diane and I got married, and a one-bedroom condo wasn't going to cut it. And that's when I became an accidental landlord because the only way I was going to buy a house was to rent that one out and have the rent covered.
Right.
So I put an ad in the newspaper in the classified ads because there was no internet then.
Right.
And I got people calling up. And this one girl shows up, and she's a stripper, and you can tell. And because she said she was a dancer, or no, I'm sorry, she's an entertainer. That's what she said. They either say they're a dancer or an entertainer. This one used entertainer.
Okay.
And she was whifty. So I told her it'd be a month and a half security deposit, and I'll run a credit check. So she fills out the information, and I have her credit run. And then they turn the information back to me and says, well, she's got judgments against her. She had a car repossessed. I was like, well, she's not going to be renting this apartment. I go home. I cannot open my front door.
She changed the lock.
No. I'm still living there.
Oh.
I can't open the front door. I was like, what the door won't open. I finally get it open. Here, she shoved like $1,500 in cash under the door in an envelope.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that's just what a note in it says. This is the security deposit. Okay. Then it gets better because I go to my answering machine and there's a message on there and it's her. And she says, yeah, I left my security deposit. I just shoved it under your door. I hope I shoved it under the right door. She wasn't even sure.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, if I wasn't like brutally honest, I could have just said, no, you must have shoved that under somebody else's door. It wasn't mine, so, but I'm not that way. And I called her back up and I said, listen, I'm sorry, you have a judgment against you. Oh, I'm surprised that showed up.
That's what it does.
Yeah, it's going to be there for quite a while. So you can, if you take the reins yourself, you can pretty much feel people out.
You know, there's a hotel that's down the road. It's not. It used to be called the Dutch Inn.
Yeah, it's closed pretty much.
Closed, right?
Yeah, I drive by it every day when I go to the property.
Would it be like if I wonder
That's
how
right
much
off
they
exit 17.
I wonder how much they want for that. Wouldn't it be great to just rent it out to like strippers and hookers and stuff like that? I mean, you could get good money. It's all cash.
Mm-hmm.
You know, different business.
What do you say? You're trying to beat Uncle Sam out of any tax revenue by trying to It's all cash.
It's all cash.
It sounds like it's
just cash. Don't say anything about beating anybody. You read that into that. I didn't do it.
Yeah, well, that's exactly how the state's going to read into it.
Nothing spends like folding cash.
Mr. Buchanan's running in the state of you're just running a cash business.
I'm not running a cash business. I'm running a business. The government's running a cash business.
I don't even know what they're going to do with that. That was a landmark, and now it's a Motel 6.
Right.
And it's
just sitting there.
Yeah. It's
doing nothing.
It looks like half of it's being used for like...
And apparently there's a lot of strippers in this area that are looking for housing.
Yeah. Yeah.
There's a need.
There's a need. There's a scratch.
Right.
There's an itch.
There's a lobby bar. Got plenty of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like it would fit.
Yeah, it's perfect fit.
Perfect fit.
One time I interviewed people and they, first of all, it's a 2-bedroom and this small car rolls up, 5 of them pile out. Okay.
Clown car.
Yeah, 2 girls, 3 guys. Okay, and it says, yeah, we're figuring we would all live here. And I'm like, okay, it's a 2-bedroom.
Where are you all staying?
Yeah, how's this going to work out? And the bedrooms weren't really all that big. It wound up 2 of them were like working under the table. So I said, well, you're unemployed. Because I handed them the credit check form to fill out and everything. I need your employer. Well, I'm working under the table, but well, then you're unemployed. If you're working under the table, you're unemployed. I need traceable.
Were these people?
I need a resume. Well, they were very extremely dusty. And the thing is, they had a lot of tattoos. And I'm not saying like tattoos that like, I'm talking like the real bad tattoos, like MS-13 tattoos.
Oh my God.
And gang symbol tattoos, like, and up the side of their neck and on their, it's like, yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. So I just went through the motions and showed them the house. Later on when they called back with the credit check and I said, well, I work under the table. 2 of them worked under the table. I was like,
right.
well, no, you're not working. You're unemployed.
Okay. So let me ask you this question. What's your thoughts on time travel?
My thoughts on time travel regarding what? Would I like to, or do I believe it can happen?
You believe it can happen?
Well, not right now, but...
Maybe in the future?
Yeah, maybe some cloud from the future could come back and...
Right.
That would be awesome.
Okay.
And I won't believe it unless he gives me the winning lottery numbers for the next Powerball drawing. Then, okay, I'm a believer.
So a man has been arrested after he claimed to be a time traveler from 2048 to warn people of an alien invasion set to occur in 2018.
Now, is that illegal alien invasion or?
No.
Extraterrestrial?
Extraterrestrial alien.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. Now we've already had the illegal alien invasion.
It's been going on for 25 years.
Right. We're talking about, from outer space. An alleged time traveler told police that he came back from the future to warn of an impending alien attack that would occur in the years 2018, saying the people of Casper, a city in central Wyoming. After being apprehended by police, he asked to speak to the president of the town. See now, I'm a little nervous.
Yeah, a little peyote might be involved in this.
All of a sudden, 30 years later, we have presidents of towns.
Mm-hmm.
According to the police who arrested the time traveler, he was only able to travel in time because aliens filled his body with alcohol.
Oh.
He was warned.
They're friendly aliens.
He warned how his plan failed as he wanted to travel back to 2018, not 2017. Apparently, he didn't get enough booze, but I think he had too much.
Yeah, he overshot his target.
I think he got too much. I think they pumped him up a little too much. Police officers said...
So he couldn't wait it out?
Well, apparently he's going to wait it out. Yeah. But if no one's listening, we're like, yeah, sure. Okay, over here. Now he's like on a drip. Police officers said the man irradiated alcohol and spoke in a slightly slurred speech saying, aliens are coming next year. We need to make sure we leave as fast as possible. Leave where? Where are we going? Mm-hmm. We can't get off the planet. Of course, officers did not believe anything the man is saying and arrested him. What's It's a charge. Drunkenness?
Well, probably public drunkenness.
Yeah. Police reported
creating a disturbance.
They did not specify the exact date and time when they... See, that's the thing. If you know when it's going to happen, you should come back with the date and time.
Yeah. Like yesterday was Pearl Harbor.
Right.
Yeah, so that'd be like me going back in time on December the 6th.
December 6th, 1940.
Say, hey, listen, tomorrow at around whatever time, it was 6:30 in the morning.
Right.
You're going to have an attack.
And they wouldn't listen to you.
Yeah, well, yeah, but I mean...
And then when it happened, they would find you and they would arrest you for being a spy. Because how did you know?
Yeah, how did you know this?
How did you know this? Well, because I came back in time.
Mm-hmm.
Jerry, the charge is dumbassedness.
Dumbassery.
The time traveler from 2048 did not want to speak to nurses and doctors, but insisted that he would only speak to...
a bartender.
The president. I want a bartender. I want one now.
I want some shots.
I need some alcohol. Got to get back in time.
Want the tequila.
Right. 1 tequila, 2 tequila, 3 tequila, 40 years back. He was said he traveled in time after standing on a giant pad, which was the original time machine that had transported him back in time. The man has later been taken to the county detention center without further incident. This isn't the first time time travelers from the future has supposedly came to Earth. A man called Al Bilak,
the guy that won all the money on the stock market,
claimed to be a time traveler, spent 2 years in the future. According to Mr. Balak, he lived in the year 2749 and eventually returned back in time to tell everything he had witnessed. Among the many things mentioned is the Montauk Project, and a alleged series of secret United States government projects conducted at Camp Hero on Montauk Air Force Base.
What year did he lived in?
He said he lived in the year 2749.
700 years into the future.
Give or take a few.
Well, nice to know that the United States is still around.
That's true.
We won.
Well, that's true. Interestingly, there was various ancient manuscripts that speak of time travel. Evidence of time travel can be found in the Bible, as well as one of the oldest Hindu texts in the written sometime during the 8th century BC.
Yes, I'm sure it's pronounced that.
In the ancient manuscript, King Geraldo Rivera is described as traveling into the heavens to meet with the creator god, Barahama, only to return to Earth. He returned to Oath 100 years. I'm stuck in Fletcher. I'm stuck in Fletcher Cox. He returned to Oath 100 years later in the future. According to Eric von... Why did I try reading this story? These names are Danik. In the Bible...
I don't know why, but it's a lot of fun to watch you try.
In the Bible, the prophet Jeremiah was sitting together with a few of his friends, and there was a young boy, and his name was Amma Bleach. And Jeremiah said to Amma Bleach,
making shit up.
Go to Jerusalem. There's a hill, and collect some figs for us. The boy went out and collected fresh figs. All of a sudden, Amma Bleach hears some noise and the wind in the air, and he becomes unconscious. He was blacked out. After time, he awakens again, and he saw it was nearly evening. So he ran back to the society where he was before, and the city was full of soldiers. And he said, what's going on here? And where's Jeremiah and all the others? And the man said that was 62 years ago. So there was a time travel story back in the Bible. So what do you think? Do you think we got a year before the aliens show up?
No.
And then, boy, what happens with all the people that didn't want guns then?
I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this guy's probably...
You think so?
It's just a little...
crazy.
I got to stop reading the chat now because it's funnier than the fucking show. David says the favorite part of his show is waiting for that engorged Philly tongue to fall. To fail you. That is true.
To fall?
To
and
fail.
It's fail?
To fail you.
No, you didn't have to wait long. Just reading his message. You failed.
Right. Oh, my God. All
so,
right.
yeah, you gave up on those diction lessons, huh?
Yeah, I actually did stop them.
Yeah.
Not that they were helping me.
Well, you had to keep at it. Quitter.
That's true. I'm a quitter. The only reason I'm going to bring up this next story is because I actually want to know where I can get some of these things. Cannabis tampons. Increasingly recognized as an effective painkiller and general medicine, marijuana is becoming well received by both the general public and professional doctors, treating a oh my God,
this one?
Please do. Fuck, I give up.
From insomnia to glaucoma to low appetite, its full utility is yet to be discovered. Of all the medical conditions it treats, marijuana may be best known for its use as a painkiller. It relieves pain caused by chemotherapy, wasting diseases, and inflammation. Furia, a cannabis product company, has developed a new product with these pain-relieving properties, cannabis-infused tampons. Called Furia Relief, the product isn't actually an absorbent tampon so much as a pain-killing suppository. It may even be used alongside a tampon and is made of only 3 ingredients: cocoa butter, THC oil, and CBD isolate. The combination is meant, according to Furia, to activate certain cannabinoid receptors in the pelvic region when introduced into the body. Users have reported a decrease in the pain and discomfort that accompanies menstruation. The cannabinoids cause the nerves of the uterus, cervix, and ovaries to produce pain-blocking endorphins while soothing muscle tissue that can cause painful cramps.
Okay, so the past 2 weeks, I've been having like all this back pain, right? I got this.
You on your period?
No, don't get ahead of me now. So I got this stupid machine. You put 4 pads on you. You turn it on. It just sits there, shocks you.
TENS machine.
TENS machine, exactly. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm reading this, and I'm like, So it really works well for period pain. Mm-hmm. So if I take a couple of these things and shove them up my ass, do you think it'll stop my back pain? Because I'm almost ready to do it.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and think that the suppository that is going to be substantially larger than what you would want to put up your ass, because I'm assuming it'd be inserted into the vagina.
So you're saying that my ass is larger than the tampon, or the tampon's larger?
No, I'm saying that the suppository that they would make this for a woman is probably going to be inserted into her vagina, which is substantially larger than your anus.
You think?
Well, I would think so. I mean, if it's for a period, where else are you going to put it?
Oh, that's where I'm putting it.
No, that's I mean, where else would a woman put it?
Well, that's where she would put it, but I don't think it would be that big.
You're going to get it up there? Well, have fun with that.
I think I could.
Well, I'm sure you will. In desperation, desperate.
See, here I thought I was going to have to tape a couple of them together. No,
your ass is that big?
I'm just saying. I see a tampon, and let's put it this way.
I'm talking about the suppository aspect.
I understand that, but you say it's the same size. They say it's the size of a tampon, right? So I've seen tampons.
No, they said it would be used in conjunction with a tampon.
It says it can be used either or.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
The suppository.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I've seen a tampon, what the size of that is. I've also looked back and seen what's come out of me. Much bigger.
Yeah, but your asshole is kind of like a check valve. Something's only supposed to go one way.
I understand that.
That's why there's like a no entry sign. You're supposed to hang on the outside of your ass.
But I'm just saying.
Hello, Frisco.
What am I going to do? I'm going to have to sit in, take a chair, turn it upside down, put this thing on there and try to settle over it. See if I can get it up there. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't like anything about that.
I'm not a fan of it either, but I'm telling you what.
Did you ever hear the story about Mumbles and the doctor?
What?
There was this guy, he couldn't complete a sentence. His name was, we used to call him Mumbles at work.
Okay.
And he went to the doctor, and he got of the age where the doctor wants to put on the rubber latex glove and give you that examination.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so he says, okay. Now, and every doctor says this, I just need you to relax. How are you going to relax?
You can't.
Yeah, when you know that's coming.
You know there's a finger going up your ass. There's no way you can relax.
So Mumbles is like, and the doctor's easy. Take it easy. Doc, I don't like this. And the doctor says, you're not supposed to like it.
Sure, the doctor doesn't like it either.
Yeah, that's just what he wants to do.
Right. Jam a finger up your ass.
And hope that the glove don't break.
Although, some people like a finger in their ass. Just saying.
Yeah, sure. Some guys pay handsomely for that.
And some women.
Yeah, well.
They like a finger. A digit.
A digit or 3.
Just one. They don't want more than one. Just saying. I've heard.
You've heard tell.
I've heard tell that, you know, females from time to time don't mind if you slip a digit in.
Mm.
They just don't like it when you try to carry them like a 6-pack of beer.
It's like reading or a bowling ball.
What's that?
Or a bowling ball.
Yes, or a bowling ball. Well, you would need 3 for a bowling ball. 6-pack. Just 2. Jerry's favorite part of the show is when John starts talking about shoving shit up his ass. All right. Let's get out of here. It's way too long. We're going to do the shout-outs?
Yeah. I'm perusing.
You're perusing?
Yes.
I thought I made a mistake there. I thought there was 2 blues and a red. No? Looks like it's all fixed. I think I went back in and fixed it.
Yes,
all right.
I see the unwritable rant in there.
It's in there. I know it's in there. Well, let's see. Oh, it was in red. So if it was a mistake, it was deuce. Not me.
Unless you cleverly switched it.
Of course. It was me. That's what I did.
Yeah, I honestly don't know.
All right. Take us home, Deuce.
If you are looking for some other great independent podcasts to check out, we highly recommend these podcast professionals and all the things that they do. The Evening Radio Podcast with Jason and Mindy, part of the Hush Your Face podcast network.
Did you ever have a digit stuck in during sex?
No.
Never?
No.
Never? No one tried?
No. Oh, they've tried.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Tighten up, did you?
I vehemently resist.
Okay.
That's the path down gaydom.
Is it?
Oh, yeah.
But even if it's a woman?
That no good can come of that.
Really? Just checking.
What about you?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, see, well,
I'm just saying. I don't.
Well, then why would you broach that subject?
I just had a question. That's all. Bad Cop with Jerry and Dave.
You know how straight I am? I'll fuck you in the ass to prove it.
That's right. No fags here.
Oh, by the way, Dave had me lick peanut butter off his cock once.
Last night.
And the night before.
That's right. There we go.
The Hunan with Rocky, BB, Drew, and Josh, part of the Hush Your Face network.
Who's Right with Doug and Anthony, also part of Hush Your Face.
When they're not fighting with John. The Unwritable Rant with Juliet Miranda. That's you? No,
I understand
she's
that.
They're not part of the Hush Your Face.
You know what? No, I see what happens here. You didn't put any kind of
emphasis?
Yeah, nothing. It was just such a cold, heartless read. It was like, I don't even care about the show. I don't even like these people.
No.
It's here. See, what you do is you go, The Unwritable Rant with Juliet Miranda and her husband, Dave, the producer. Now that's how you give a shout out.
Okay, so you don't write it in there, and now it's my fault.
I have to write everything down that you say?
Yes.
No, I wrote it down. I see what's wrong here. There's 2 who writes in here. There's 2 who.
So you must have left somebody out.
No, I didn't. I don't know.
Somebody had to get the gate.
I'm going to do it again just because I don't want to screw up the thing. The Who's Right podcast with Doug and Anthony.
No, that's such a cold reading.
I did it on purpose.
Okay.
I did ignore you in the shout-outs. Look, I just went back and scolded Deuce for giving you a bad shout-out.
Everyone knows this is the John show.
That's true.
So ultimately, it'll always be your fault.
That's true, too.
So,
okay.
The Bro Rons podcast, Big D and Little R, part of the Hush Your Face network.
Penn and Meller with Matt Meller and Viva La Pedros, part of the Hush Your Face network.
Horribly Awkward with Sean Fuller, part of the Hush Your Face network. He's been like funny lately. I'm like so backed up on his, and I don't even know how old the episode is. It's probably like a month old. I'm like so backed up, and I was just
maybe somebody should stick a digit in.
No,
loosen some things up in there.
I'm not backed up that way. I'm backed up on podcasts.
Okay, are we done? Is it my turn?
Yeah.
I thought there was a story. I didn't know.
Well, you derailed my whole train. of thought,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I'm done. Don't make me sit here in awkward anger.
The Rob and Slim Show with Rob, Slim, Sleepy Lucas, and every once in a while Slimbo makes an appearance. Part of the Hush Your Face network.
Toe on the Trigger with Daniel, Repoltz, Mike, and C3K.
Okay. The story behind with Emily Prokop.
Is she back?
No, not yet. She's having some issues yet, but she'll be back.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone has a podcast with Adam and Brian.
And my favorite, Tom and Steve. They were just doing another show. I got to tell you.
Flat Earth?
No, it wasn't. Well, there were some little flat Earth mentions in there, but they were talking about Bitcoins. I'm telling you, I'm enjoying the show. I know that's a horrible thing to say around here, especially with Jerry and Dave in the chat room. I'm going to get blasted because of that, but I like the show. I don't understand it.
I haven't listened
Not that
to
I don't understand it, but I'm just saying. I would be lying. I would not be truthful if I didn't say that I was enjoying the show.
I haven't listened to it since they rebooted. I heard it months ago when their audio sound was, really not that great.
Yeah.
And you were...
Right, it was horrible.
And the first
And then we got into a fight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you can't help yourself.
Right. Of course. Starting shit.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to do the readout or you want me to do it?
I'll do the readout. Can you?
I can't even figure out how to close this fucking thing now.
Wow. If you enjoyed this show, then please do us a favor. Tell a few friends. Even share this episode on your social media accounts. It's easy to do. We are on the social media platforms. Find us on Facebook at facebook.com/BrandXPodcast. On the Twitter at BrandXPodcast. And on Instagram at BrandXPodcast. Just like to follow us and share us with your friends. We would love it if you would join us in the conversation. You can also email us at brandxpod@gmail.com, or you can call into the Times Yours voicemail 856-322-2473 and leave a message, and we'll feature you in our next Times Yours segment. Thank you so much for listening, and come on back next week for another episode of the Brand X Podcast.
Firefighters have expressed their anger of having to spend an hour rescuing a YouTube prankster who got his head. God damn it, John, you are a non-reading motherfucker.
Yeah,
Try this again.
A little hard on yourself.
You think. You know, we're doing this new and this is on the fly. And I appreciate Jerry's like, wow, the sound's really, really hot. So now I'm losing my mind. I'm like, well, where do I adjust it at? Where am I going to adjust this volume at? So I've moved it way down low from the software side.
Sweet chariot.
Right. And now I'm right here and I can't, and now I don't know if it's loud or not. I don't know if it's too loud or not. So we've done an hour where this is what they're hearing.
Yeah, but it might only sound like that on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, it's only going to sound on Facebook. Yeah, you're right. No, the recording here. But you want the Facebook people to have a pleasant listening, viewing experience.
I guess.
No. Fuck them. We're trying to do here.
I suppose if you want to go for that, okay. How does it sound now? Any better? Are you waiting for the 10-second delay to go away?
Now they're just openly mocking me in the chat. Now they're going, hey, listen, that's a microphone, not a Philly cheesesteak, because I put my mouth around it.
Cheesesteak.
I don't know.
I go for a cheesesteak.
I could go for a cheesesteak too right now, because I swallow a lot of aggression along with a lot of cheesesteaks. I've dropped everything down. Who knows? Next week we'll be back to the old way. Camera across the fucking room. My head's this big. It's fine. Yeah. You know what I am? I'm a quitter. You know me. Now I see myself. Now, 10 seconds later, I'm watching myself, my hands flail around. Fucking nightmare. Don't say Gain and John in the same sentence. All right, you two.
Who's in there besides Jerry?
Of course it's Dave, the producer, and Jerry. They're in there breaking my balls.
The Great American Bromance.
Dude, the one day we were watching, it was Dave, the producer, Jerry, and me. We're watching Doug and Anthony record, and we are breaking their... But they're smart. They're not looking at the chat.
Right.
Because, first of all, they can't do two things at the same time.
That's not true.
Jerry, it looks good. Sounds like shit. Well, I'll practice with it next week. I don't know. I kind of like this where I can't stand watching myself 10 seconons later.
Don't look at it.
That's my problem. Well, I have to see the chat.
Dude,
I know what I'll do. Okay, I got it.
You can't drag a window over that?
That's exactly what you're smart.
Yeah.
Okay, I drug the window. Now I can see the chat.
Check out the big brain on Brad.
Check out the big brains on Brad. All right, I just covered my face. There we go. The video reminds me of a prison visit. They joke because they care.
Mm-hmm. Well, you only break the balls of the ones you love.
Mm-hmm. That's true. Shut the fuck up so I can end the recording.
That's it. We're just getting into it.